Hello everyone, I'm so excited to show you guys my new pattern. This is the lemon peel stitch carrot roll. It's super fun, super easy to make. It has a nice lemon peel stitch, so it has a cute texture to it. It's perfect for spring decor, Easter baskets, gifts, markets, whatever you'd like to use it for. We're gonna make a semicircle with the lemon peel stitch and roll it up along our arch to create our carrot. Like I said, super fun, super easy to make. And look at just how cute that works up. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so for our pattern today, we are going to need a worsted weight yarn. This is the Premier Basics in orange. We are also going to need about 8 inches of green yarn for our leaves on top. This is also the Premier Basics yarn in the colors Fern and the colors Spring Green. We'll need about 8 inches of that to make the leaves on top. We'll also need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, scissors, and a yarn needle. If you would like to use a stitch marker for this pattern, you can, but we're going to be working in turning rounds, so you don't necessarily need one, but if it helps you keep count of your stitches, definitely use one. Okay, to begin, we're going to be starting with a magic circle. I recommend doing the double loop magic circle for this pattern. It helps stay a little bit tighter when you're rolling the carrot. If you don't know how to do a double loop magic circle, I'll link the tutorial uh, or my tutorial for the double loop magic circle into the description below. If you don't like doing the double loop magic circle or you're not comfortable with it, don't worry about it. You can still do a single loop magic circle. You just might want to weave in your ends just a couple more times just to make sure everything stays tight at the very end, but a single loop magic circle still works for this pattern. Okay, so to begin, we're going to start by chaining one. Our chain one, we're going to be chaining one at the end of each round. It doesn't count as a stitch, so that chain one doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to be working 6 stitches into our magic circle, alternating single crochets, double crochets. Okay, so our first stitch, we're going to single crochet into our magic circle. Next, double crochet into our magic circle. And we're going to be repeating that 3 times to make a total of 6 stitches. So single crochet into the magic circle, and then double crochet, and repeat one more time. Okay, at the end of that round, we'll go ahead and chain 1, pull up our loop, and tighten our magic circle. And we're not going to be continuing working in rounds. This is going to be turning round, so we won't continue this way. We'll turn our work and continue working back across the stitches we just worked, okay? Now again, our chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so our first stitch will be in the second stitch from the hook. So for round 2, we're going to insert a single crochet into that first stitch and a double crochet into that first stitch. So this whole row is going to be single crochet, double crochet increases. Okay, so that's a single crochet and a double crochet into the first stitch. Next stitch, a single crochet and a double crochet into that same stitch. And we'll just repeat that across all the stitches on this row. At the end of this row, we should have 12 total stitches worked. Okay, at the end of that row, we'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work again, working back across those stitches. Okay, for round 3, we're working single crochet, double crochet, alternating in each stitch. So the second stitch from the hook will work our single crochet. The next stitch will work a double crochet. And we'll just repeat that across. So next stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch, a double crochet. So at the end of this round, you should have 12 stitches worked across still. We'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work. We're on to round 4, so this is going to be our round of increases. So it's going to be a 1 and then an increase, 1 and then an increase, but we're going to be alternating stitches. So we'll go kind of slow through this round so I can show you how we alternate stitches while doing the increases. So in that second stitch from the hook, we'll work a single crochet. The next stitch is going to be our first increase, so we're doing a double crochet into the next stitch, and then into that same stitch, a single crochet, and that creates our increase. Okay, next stitch is just a double crochet into that one. And the next stitch here is a single crochet, double crochet increase. So next stitch we'll work a single crochet and then a double crochet into that same stitch. And we're just repeating that across. So the next stitch is a single crochet and the next stitch is an increase. So that'll be a double crochet, single crochet increase. So we've worked our double crochet, single crochet into that same stitch. Next stitch is just a double crochet. Next, single crochet, double crochet increase. Next stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet, single crochet increase. Next stitch is a double crochet. And our last stitch here is another increase. So we'll be doing a single crochet, double crochet increase. At the end of all of these rounds, you should always be ending with a double crochet. Okay, so that last one's single crochet, double crochet increase. We'll chain 1 and turn. At the end of that increase round, you should have 18 stitches worked across. This next round 5, we'll just be doing an alternating single crochet, double crochet into each stitch. So your second stitch from the hook, we'll insert a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch, a double crochet. And we'll just keep repeating that across. Okay, we chain 1 and turn, so we still should have 18 stitches worked across after round 5. Round 6, we're going to be doing another increase round, but this is a 2 stitch and then an increase, so it'll go a little bit smoother. It'll be a single crochet, a double crochet, and then a single crochet, double crochet increase, and we'll just be repeating that around. So your second stitch from the hook, single crochet, next stitch, double crochet. Next stitch is a single crochet and then a double crochet increase. So a single crochet into that stitch and then a double crochet into that same stitch to create that increase. And we're just repeating that around. So another single crochet in the next stitch. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next single crochet, double crochet increase. And repeat. At the end of this round, you should have, 24 stitches. Okay, we'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And we're on to round 7, which is just single crochet, double crochet alternating into each stitch. So the second stitch from the hook, we'll work a single crochet. Next stitch, a double crochet. Next stitch, a single crochet. next stitch a double crochet, and repeat all the way around. So at the end of this round, we'll still have 24 stitches worked. Okay, at the end of this round, we'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work. And now we're on to round 8. This is a round of increases, but it's 3 and then an increase, 3 and then an increase. So because we're on an odd number, this is going to be alternating our increases as well. So we'll work through this row slowly again, and we'll go through each increase. So second stitch from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch, a single crochet. And then the next stitch is going to be our increase. So into this stitch here, we'll work a double crochet. And into that same stitch, a single crochet. Okay, and that creates our increase. The next stitch is going to be a double crochet into the next stitch. Next stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch, a double crochet. And another increase, but this time we're going to do a single crochet, double crochet increase. So into that next stitch, a single crochet, and then into that same stitch, a double crochet to create that increase. Okay, and then we're just going to be repeating that kind of that same pattern around. So next stitch is a single crochet, next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, a single crochet, next stitch is an increase of a double crochet, and then a single crochet into that same stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, and then a single crochet, double crochet increase into the next, a single crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, and single crochet into the next, double crochet, single crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, and into this last stitch here is an increase, so it's a single crochet first, and then a double crochet into that same stitch. So we're still ending with our double crochet. We'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn. After the end of that round, we should have 30 stitches worked across. As long as you keep alternating your single crochet, double crochets within your increases, you'll do fine. So I know that round's a little bit tricky, but just keep alternating your single crochets, double crochets, and working your increases as you do it, and you'll be able to get through it. Okay, but if you've made it to that stitch, that row, congratulations, because that one is a bit tricky. Okay, so the next one is round 9, and this one's just alternating single crochet, double crochet into each stitch. So the second stitch from the hook, single crochet, next stitch is a double crochet, next stitch is a single crochet, next stitch is a double crochet, and we're just repeating that across. So we'll still have 30 stitches at the end of this round. Okay, and then we will chain 1 and turn. Okay, so we still have 30 stitches worked. And now we're on to round 10. Round 10 is of course another row of increases, but this time it's 4 stitches and then an increase. So it'll, because it's even number, it'll go pretty easy. We'll go into the second stitch from the hook and insert a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. Into the next stitch, a single crochet. Into the next stitch, a double crochet. And then we've reached our increase, so this will just be a single crochet, double crochet increase every time. So into the next stitch, we'll work a single crochet and then a double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, and then we'll just repeat that across. So the next stitch, a single crochet, next a double crochet, next a single crochet, next a double crochet, and then a single crochet, double crochet increase into the next. And repeat. At the end of this row, you should have 36 stitches. Okay, at the end of that row, we'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn, and we're on to our last round, round 11. We have 36 stitches worked across after that increase round. This one is just going to be single crochet, double crochet into each stitch across. So the first stitch is the second stitch from the hook. We'll work a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch, a single crochet. Next stitch, a double crochet, and just keep going all the way around. So after this round, you should still have 36 stitches worked across. Okay, after that last stitch, we can go ahead and pull up our yarn and fasten it off um, and start rolling our care. So to begin that, after we fasten off this yarn, we can go ahead and weave in this starting tail into the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so we've gone ahead and fastened off our yarn tail. We weaved in our starting tail at the bottom of the carrot, and we've cut about 6 strands of 4 to 5 inch strands of green yarn for the leaves on top. Okay, so we can go ahead and start constructing this thing. So you can choose whichever side you would like to face outwards. Whatever sides you would like to face outwards, go ahead and place that side down. Okay, so we can roll it in. We're going to be rolling it in with this magic circle being the point for the bottom of the carrot and this arch being the top. So we're going to roll it tightly along that arch. Okay, so if you kind of put your finger down here on the magic circle and roll, start to roll. Now you want to roll it on the opposite side. You want to start your roll on the opposite side of your finishing yarn. Okay, so we'll start to roll it along that arch, making sure we keep this as the magic circle as the bottom point. And you just want to roll it kind of tight along there and then back down the other side. And towards the end, you can kind of grab that other side and pull it tightly around that carrot, making sure you like the point of your carrot. There we go. Okay. And then using your finishing string, you're going to be weaving it through the top pieces of your carrot. See, that wasn't tight enough towards the end. Let me do it a little bit tighter here. There we go. Okay, so you want to weave this in through these top stitches and then down through these stitches here, sewing this to this back part, okay, so that it all stays tight. So we'll go ahead and do that using our yarn needle. Okay, so to sew it shut, we're just going to go in through the back to the front of those inside stitches there and pull those together. And then working down through your stitches, you're just going to whip stitch it, that seam closed. Okay, once you've gotten to the end of your stitches, you can go ahead and either knot this and hide it inside the body, or weave your yarn back through to fasten it off, whichever way works for you. That creates the bottom part of our carrot. We'll go ahead and take our green yarn. As we take our green yarn, we're just going to be putting it in our needle. You could do 2 strands at once or 1 strand, whatever works for you. And on this inside, these inside stitches here, we're going to just be putting a piece in each of those stitches, or any of those stitches, and we're going to tie them together, give it a little knot for each piece. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to make them fluffy. Okay, so once we get all our pieces twisted on here, we're just going to start pulling the plies apart on each of our strands. Okay, and that's what makes the fluffy little leaves on here. So we'll just start kind of with our nails, just pulling those strands as best you can apart and letting them kind of fluff up a little bit there on all of our strands. Okay, after you've gotten all of your little leaves and your strands pulled apart to your liking, you can pull all the plies apart, some of the plies apart, however you would like it. We're going to go ahead and take our scissors and just trim it up a little bit, so that they're not too long. Oop. Do a little bit more trimming there. Give it a little haircut. Okay, and there we have it. That is your cute little lemon peel stitch carrot roll. Like I said, super fun, super easy to make. I actually think I'm going to take mine and make them into a fun Easter garland for my mantle. They can be used on wreaths, anything you would like. They're so cute, so fun to make, and so easy. With a simple stitch that just turns out, that texture turns out just magnificent for this carrot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me in bringing you guys these videos and creating new patterns. Also, if you would like to tag your creation at my.rosemarie, I love to see what you guys make. We'll see you in the next video. Happy crocheting. Oh, and they come unstuck, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark.